I was on a mining rig, 500 miles from civilization, when the courthouse called. Reception was weak. The voice came in static bursts. "Your wife. Restraining order. Says you threatened to kill her." I stared out at the Martian red landscape of West Texas, dust swirling like it had something to hide. In the background, I heard my daughter sobbing. "Daddy would never hurt Mommy." Then her voice, my wife's, "Come near us and you'll go to jail." She hung up before I could respond, which was fine. She never liked hearing what I had to say anyway. But what she didn't know, what she never learned to see in me, was that I don't raise my voice. I raise the stakes. And I was already on my way. I drove back in silence. No music, just the hum of the engine and the slow grinding of my thoughts. The divorce had been clean, on paper. She got the house, the car, our daughter every other weekend. I got space. And space makes you see things. How she stopped wearing her ring months before she filed. How she never answered video calls from the living room. How our daughter mentioned a man named Evan, the funny friend who brought smoothies and stayed late to help Mommy work. Funny, I never saw his car in the driveway. But now? Now she was claiming abuse. Now she wanted a protective order, to erase me from my daughter's life. The kind of move you only make when you know something is coming, or when you're trying to hide something that already happened. I didn't go home. I went to a hotel 10 blocks from hers. Burner phone. Cash. No digital trail. I called the school pretending to be Evan, said I needed records for pickup. They told me he wasn't on file. I asked the neighbor's kid to keep an eye out. Gave him $50 to take photos of every man who came by after 7 p.m. 2 nights later, I had them. 5 photos, same guy. Always parked a block down. Always left before sunrise. The same man who once filed a restraining order of his own 5 years ago, against a different woman. Same name as my wife's best friend from college. I ran phone logs next. She'd called him 78 times in the last month, called me 3. But the final match was the security footage, old stuff I pulled from the cloud. A glitchy timestamp from 2 months back. He was in our kitchen, my daughter sitting on his lap, her hands in his hair, and my wife smiling like she'd finally gotten away with it. I sent her a package, no note, just a USB drive, labeled "Play Alone." Inside was a compilation, photos, logs, video, all cut and edited with cold precision. No commentary, just timestamps and reality. 2 hours later, I got a message. "What do you want?" Not "I'm sorry," not "it's not what it looks like," just "what do you want?" I replied with a single sentence. "Custody or exposure? Choose." Her typing bubble came and went for a long time. Then silence. By morning, my lawyer had the agreement. Full custody transfer. No contest. No alimony demands. No delays. Just a signature. She asked to see me once. Said she wanted closure. I agreed. We met in the same diner we used to go to when we were happy, or pretending to be. She looked thinner, eyes ringed with insomnia. "I didn't want to hurt you," she said quietly. I stirred my coffee. "You just didn't want to get caught." She flinched. "But Evan, he was there." She stopped, tried again. I was lonely. I finally looked at her. Flat, unblinking. "You made our daughter lie to a court," I said. "You told her to say I was violent." She opened her mouth. I slid the custody papers across the table. "She'll never have to lie for you again." Her hand trembled as she picked up the pen. I stood before she signed. Because closure isn't a conversation, it's a transaction. I live quietly now. Different town, same sky. My daughter sleeps peacefully. No more crying when the doorbell rings. She never asks about her mother, and I never bring it up. Some nights I watch the footage again, not out of pain, not for proof, just to remind myself what calm really looks like. Because anger is loud, but control is a whisper, and silence is the sound people make when you take their power away, permanently.